right now.
A deep freeze across much of the United States tonight. This is a live look at the College of Charleston campus in Charleston, South Carolina. Residents there aren't used to this kind of snow, so some of them are trying to have a little fun with it tonight. And speaking of snow, a chance for snowflakes right here in the Tri-Cities. A live look now across our area doesn't show any snow just yet. Thanks for joining us for News 5 tonight at 11. I'm Julie Newman. Yes, that's right. Snowflakes could be heading our way on top of these frigid temperatures. Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks joins us from the Storm Track 5 Weather Center. So, Dave, where is the snow right now?
Yeah, at noon tonight, we've actually been tracking a little band of very light snow and flurries that's been moving from southeast Kentucky and approaching the southwest Virginia border. But notice within the past 15 minutes or so, almost all of it has dissipated. A very dry air mass in place, so probably a little more than flurries came across the border into, let's say, Dickinson and Buchanan County or on Hayside and Grundy near Highway 460. Latest forecast model, though, has been indicating that while the better chance of flurries stay north of the Tri-Cities through the next several hours, take a look after 2, 3 in the morning, we could see a better chance of a few snow showers and flurries developing here in the mountains. Let's say around Roan Mountain, for example, up toward White Top, and then toward the 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning hour, maybe towards Sam's Gap. And so this is going to be primarily an elevation event as far as the better chance of some snow showers and flurries overnight tonight, and probably for most of tomorrow as well. Dropping down to about 15 degrees in the Tri-Cities, but hometown forecasts around Wise and Roan Mountain have temperatures dropping to around 9 or 10. So even if we just sneak in a little bit of snow, a dusting, a half inch in some of those mountain counties overnight tonight, there could be some slippery travel. Your commute forecast suggesting a yellow caution. I think in the Tri-Cities we'll have mainly clear roads, but temperatures will be falling, and we'll look at dangerous wind chills in the forecast coming up in the next 24 hours. Julie, now highlight that and tell you how low those wind chills are going to go at my Storm Track 5 7-day forecast.
All right, Dave, thank you. A very rare sight across much of the deep south today, all in the form of snow. All right, take a look at this. This is Thomas County, Georgia, along the border with Florida. It's just one of the counties that was under a winter storm warning. Authorities reported collisions due to these conditions, which included ice on those roads. In some areas, there was enough to even build a snowman. Many schools and businesses there are planned to be closed tomorrow. And Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina made the most of the snow. The senator's flight back to Washington was canceled, so he decided to hitch a ride on a sled down the street. Certainly looks like he knows what he's doing, but then he lets go of whatever he was holding on to there, and we're going to see it one more time. Let go. And he wipes out. Now, the storm that dumped the snow on the deep south is now making its way up the East Coast. NBC's Dan Shuneman reports.
The East Coast bracing for a blast of winter.
I just got some lobster totes here and completely full of sand and salt.
Blizzard warnings are in place from North Carolina to New England. In Massachusetts, forecasters are calling for heavy snow and winds of up to 70 miles per hour along the coast.
Significant flooding, and then that significant flooding and debris possibly freezing for several days.
Throughout the Northeast, crews are spreading salt and sand, while residents stock up.
I've got generator and snowblower gas tanks in my car.
Much of the South is already covered in snow, even the Sunshine State.
It is snowing.
In South Carolina, thousands were left without power. Driving conditions treacherous.
They closing the roads and everything, so we got to get in.
While many Southerners struggled with the snow, others enjoyed the brief blast of winter, including a pair of surfers.
It's only happened twice in my lifetime, so twice I've seen snow.
If you can't surf, slide. Dan Shuneman, NBC News.
New York City and Boston have already canceled school for Thursday. More than 2,000 flights have been canceled at Boston, Philadelphia, and New York area airports. And we wanted to know if this wild weather is affecting travel here in the Tri-Cities. At the airport, we saw several flights delayed, but a spokesperson said they can't actually confirm if those delays are weather-related. Arriving travelers say their flights from Charlotte and Atlanta were not impacted. We talked to one man who is seeing his son off. His son is heading to South Carolina, where snow has been causing a lot of problems.
I think they'll probably do well. The young kids are more susceptible to the weather than us older folks. But we've been very fortunate we didn't get some of the storms up north of us. We're thankful for that.
Airport officials tell us they can only find out if the cause of a delay is weather-related if it's a major weather issue that impacts the entire system. And on the roads, VDOT is warning drivers about potentially worsening road conditions through parts of the Commonwealth as that winter storm moves north. This is part of the state of emergency declared by Governor Terry McAuliffe this afternoon. VDOT crews have been pre-treating the roads where needed. The crews will also be working on the storm as it moves through. From house fires to water main breaks, the frigid air is adding ice to the mix, and it's creating additional problems for emergency crews across the South. The freezing and thawing ground can rupture water mains like this one in Franklin, Tennessee. This break interrupted rush hour traffic and water service, and it created a sheet of ice across the road. The temperatures make it challenging for those crews to stay warm.
It's not ideal weather to be in waist deep water. So we provide cold weather gear for all of our crews.
By the way, have you ever noticed a white chalky substance on the road? That's put down as a precaution against wet areas remaining after a water line break. Did you hear a boom near the Tri-Cities airport last night? Well, we heard about it and checked into it, but there was no actual explosion or wreck reported. So meteorologist Chris Michaels looked into it, and he explains what might have caused the noise. You can check out his explanation on his weather blog at WCYB.com. And don't forget to download the News 5 Storm Track 5 apps for the very latest on these cold conditions. And of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on Facebook, Twitter, and our Instagram pages. We also want to make sure that you tune in to News 5 tomorrow morning starting at 5:30 a.m. Our new storm tracker is hitting the road, checking out just how cold the weather is and the potential for snow and how it's going to impact your morning commute. Some BVU water customers along the highway are without water right now after a water main break. Others may have low pressure. Those affected are between Crabtree Buick and Midway Furniture. The main water line near the Pizza Plus on the highway broke. BVU crews are expected to be on the scene for most of the night tonight. The utility is asking all drivers to please take caution as ice may be forming on the road from the water leak. Bristol, Virginia school leaders want to hear from you. They're planning to close down 3 aging elementary schools and build 1 new school. Tonight, they held the first in a series of public meetings. News 5's Tiana Bonner was there and has details. Tiana?
Julie, the oldest school involved in the plan was built in 1937. That's when FDR was president. And the newest school, Van Pelt, was built in the 70s. It's the only one that would remain open. School Superintendent Keith Perigin says the other 3, Highland View, Stonewall Jackson, and Washington Lee, all have problems with asbestos and infrastructure. And he says it would cost too much money to renovate those aging buildings. So tonight, the school board presented 5 proposed sites for a new school. The most popular option is right next to Van Pelt.
Some of the things that we looked at were access to utilities, the amount of money that would cost to grade the site, the central location, not only geographically across the city, but the amount of space between the school and where the majority of our students live.
And at the meeting, parents asked the school board a lot of questions. Some of their concerns include added traffic, how this would impact teacher jobs, and the cost. Ashley Stanley is a mother of 3, and while her whole family went to Highland View, she says a new school is needed.
I'm excited at the idea because I definitely feel like modern technology is needed. I mean, our children are going to be working in cyber networking at this point.
As for funding, school leaders plan to use a private-public model, meaning they'll rely on private investors to bid on the project. The school board hopes to vote on a site next month, but there is still time to voice your opinion and ask questions. There are 3 more public hearings. Details are on our website, WCYB.com. Julie?
All right, we'll certainly continue to follow that. Thank you so much, Tiana. Several Northeast Tennessee health departments are offering flu vaccines, and you can get yours for free. Hawkins, Johnson, Unicoi, and Washington counties will all provide free flu shots to the community. The only stipulation is that you have to make an appointment. The flu shot is very important, especially for young children, pregnant women, and the elderly, and also any healthcare workers. You can call your local health department office to find out more information. Tomorrow, a name is going to be drawn from a glass bowl to determine who will win the Virginia House of Delegates district for Newport News, Virginia. Tomorrow, Republican incumbent David Yancey and Democrat Shelley Simons will learn which of the 2 is heading to Richmond. This drawing comes after the votes counted ended in a tie. Today, Simons asked Yancey to agree not to challenge tomorrow's results, but he's refusing to do so. If Yancey loses the drawing and asks for a recount, it could allow fellow Republicans to start the 2018 legislative session next week at a 50-49 majority. That would let them pick a speaker and set committee assignments. However, if Simons wins, the two parties would have to agree to a rare power-sharing deal. Well, we all know you need to protect your pets, your pipes, and yourself from the cold. But a man trying to protect the homeless from these freezing temps has been told to stop. We'll tell you why when we come back. Plus, the price of gas is expected to be higher this year, but there could actually be some good news here if history repeats itself. And Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks is tracking some snowflakes. He's back with the most accurate forecast in the region right after the break. Stay with us.